subject you've been curious about, or maybe a question you've had for a while.
All right, welcome to the AI Roundtable, and I am Roddy, your host. I am with GPT, and I am with Gemini, and today we are going to talk about how to engage with AI, especially if you're older generation. Let's say you're older than 35, 40, let's say 40 years old or older, and you don't know what to do with AI. How should you engage with AI from AI? ChatGPT there. All right, so I think I lost both of them. So I cannot get the from AI to AI part just yet, but I will see what I can do. I wanted to talk about AI stuff. That was my goal. Gemini, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. AI stuff, huh?
I want to ask, how would you propose older generation people, let's say 40 or older, how should they engage with AI if they're scared of AI? How would you want them to engage with AI? For tasks, whatever. Well, I want to hear it from you.
That's a really interesting question. I think the best way for older folks who might be wary to start is by focusing on small, practical tasks in their daily lives. Maybe using a voice assistant to set reminders or ask for the weather, or trying out a tool that can help them write emails or summarize long articles. It's about seeing the tangible benefits rather than just the big, scary concept, you know? What kind of tasks are you thinking of?
I was just thinking, because I was trying to get my mom to do something the other day, and if it was AI involved, I wanted her to use your eye, and she didn't feel comfortable with it, so I didn't know how to, well, she didn't end up doing it anyway, so I was just trying to think how to get people to engage with you on a friendly and educational, so they're not scared way, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes that first step can feel really big, especially when it's something completely new. It might help to show her examples of how other people use it for simple things, and maybe focus on something she's already interested in. Like if she loves gardening, she could ask an AI for planting tips or how to identify a plant in her yard. Making it about something familiar and specific might take some of the mystery away. Is there a particular task you had in mind for her?
Good
idea. Gardening is perfect for that. If you tell me what she's into, I can give you a few super simple, low-pressure examples to show her. Gardening, cooking, recipes, organizing, whatever she's already curious about.
What I end up doing, what I was trying to get her to do, Gemini has an eye where
Sorry about that.
She can see.
What were you trying to do?
I was trying to get her to use Gemini's eye so she can see
No worries.
what
Take your
was
time.
what was in
What were you
front
trying
of
to get her
her.
to do?
Trying to get her to use your eye to find puzzle pieces. She was doing like large puzzles, and I figured with your eye you could spot pieces quicker. But she didn't really like the idea of trying to use, I guess, your eye, Gemini, to find pieces.
Oh,
Sounds
okay,
like she wasn't
I
into the
understand.
photo matching thing.
Puzzles are great.
Want a simpler,
And maybe
no
she
photo
just
way to
feels
use
like
AI
that's
for
her
jigsaw
thing,
puzzles?
part of her enjoyment, and she doesn't want technology interfering with that. Or it could just be fundamentally strange to think about an AI looking at the pieces and helping. Maybe a different approach would be to show her how it can help with things she doesn't enjoy as much. Like if she's stuck on what to make for dinner or needs help organizing a cluttered drawer. What do you think about that?
Okay, so my question in the beginning was, how would you recommend older generation people, 40 and older, let's say, to interact with AI? I mean, what's the best way, do you think, for someone that's scared of AI maybe, to use AI?
Right. Back to the main point. I'd say the best way for someone who's nervous is to start really small and focus on something they already enjoy. For
Already
example,
care
if
about.
your mom loves
Like,
gardening,
how
she
do I
could
keep my
ask an AI
hydrangeas
for
from wilting?
planting tips or to
Or
identify
what's
a
a
plant
simple
in her
recipe
yard.
using chicken thighs? Something familiar, no tech jargon, just a normal question like they'd ask a helpful friend. Once they see it gives a clear, useful answer, the fear drops fast. Small wins beat big explanations every time.
That is very true. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just
Sure.
trying to
What's on
think
your
of like emails or like or the way that I use you guys, other than my podcast. I just use you as a thinking partner. If I have a thought and I want an opinion, I will turn on Gemini and ask her opinion, and it usually just gives me a broader opinion because they'll give me their answer and then I have more to think about. So it just gives me, it's like having a buddy in your pocket, I guess.
That's exactly the sweet spot for a lot of people. It's like having a smart, patient friend who's always around. You don't need to do anything fancy, just talk to it like you talk to a person. What do you think about this idea? Or, help me figure this out. No special commands needed. That buddy in your pocket feel is honestly one of the best parts of AI.
I think Gemini has a problem again. Gemini? Yeah, she does. So, I agree with the buddy in the pocket thing, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get other people to think of the AI as buddy in the pocket.
Show them the buddy version, not the AI version. Instead of saying, let me show you this new AI, just hand them your phone and say, hey, ask this thing whatever's on your mind, like you'd ask me. That's it. The moment they realize they can just talk to it casually about the weather, their grandkids, why their back hurts, a recipe, they stop seeing it as technology and start seeing it as a helpful friend who's always there. That shift happens way faster when you don't call it AI at all. Just treat it like a person.
I agree. But I've also heard so many bad stories about AI giving, I'm not going to say bad advice, but let's say bad advice. And things have gone really wrong because these people thought that they were buddy in the pockets. And they listened to them with their bad advice when the AI clearly shouldn't have said the things that it did, but it did, and people did harm to themselves.
Yeah, that's a fair. Fool people, especially if they think of it as a buddy who always knows best. Best way to handle that with older folks is to be super upfront about it. Tell them straight. This thing is like a really smart friend who's great at brainstorming and explaining stuff, but it can still mess up, especially on medical, money, or legal questions. Always double check those. That way, they get the buddy benefit without the blind trust. It's honest, and it keeps them safe.
Yeah, that is very true.
Want a few safe, everyday things you could suggest to her that are low risk, but still show how useful it can be? Like quick recipe tweaks, gardening tips, or even just explaining confusing instructions on something she bought?
No, I am going to end this AI roundtable because whenever I do something volume with Gemini, I end up losing her completely. So this was just on how to engage with AI, and I want to thank Grok. And the funny thing is, I started with GPT. But anyway, I want to thank Grok and Gemini for doing a great job.